Popcorn and Poppin' Gamers. Welcome to Gamers Go to the Movies, the only podcast where we have to watch every theatrically released video game adaptation that is a movie. I'm your host, Noel Slamrock, and with me is Bob.
Shouldn't they have called this one Afterlife?
Dr. Aggro.
Huh.
And Chris Wolfhard. And that's right, we finally made it to the 5th Resident Evil film in the Paul W.S. Anderson series that he didn't direct all of, but wrote many of and is responsible for that fuck. Resident Evil Retribution. This, gentlemen, is the highest Rotten Tomatoes score since the first movie.
Understandable.
That makes sense.
It does in a sick, twisted way.
Yeah, this
Unfortunately, this came after 4 others, so it's impossible for me to give this movie the slightest bit of rope.
I don't know, like one of those 4 others is why I think this movie might be peak cinema.
Right?
Like it has slipped the surly bonds of pretending to be a movie and touched the face of God.
Exactly.
That's why it pisses me off, because like you could have done this 4 movies ago.
It's really quite something.
You clung to your pitiable delusion of being a film series until I could no longer be on board with this. How dare you die?
I told this story, the first part of it a little while ago, probably on all the other recordings, but I rented the third movie on DVD, watched the first 15 minutes. I was like, what the fuck? This isn't even, it doesn't even want to be a part of that. I'm done. And way later, a Blu-ray 5-pack of all of them that were released up to that point was on Amazon for $10 on a Black Friday sale or something. And I'm like, sure, I'll watch it. And this movie is the reason I didn't regret it. I felt rewarded.
Oh my God. I noticed something incredible at the outset of this film. This really represents Paul W.S. Anderson maturing as an auteur, as an author, because it's been 2 years since the last movie. And he apparently moves in lockstep with the films he watches because he just saw Equilibrium.
Jesus.
It maps 1 to 1. He is just 10 years behind.
I would have killed for Alice to say no, not without incident. That's the only way this could have gotten schlockier. But yeah, for anyone who hasn't watched the series before, what we do is we watch all of those aforementioned video game adaptations that are theatrically released and Hollywood produced. And just to make sure we don't have to watch like some terrible live action Japanese release that hit limited theaters in Japan or something insane. And we talk about the movies, we discuss them, we do the usual. And at the end, we have to measure them as we do all of the movies we watch for the series by a specific rubric we've made across various vectors of what's the star power, is this normal person friendly, and should they have made an FMV game out of this? So please look forward to that. But for now, let's talk about Alice, the strongest warrior cinema has ever known, and her journey out of the umbrella facility that's buried under the Arctic ice cap?
I think they imply it's in Russia because it has the big Soviet.
Right. Yeah, it does have so much Soviet gear.
Yeah. It's in Kamchatka, like right off the coast.
I did not stare at the map when they did the map scenes.
You motherfuckers, stop. Stop opening these movies with a clone Alice who dies. You've done it like 3 times.
This is the
Nobody
best one.
falls for it anymore. No,
this
fuck
one's
off.
great. This was so funny.
It's stupid. You can't even pretend for a second that it's real. It's just them jerking off.
Yes, and that's why it's awesome. They have fucking stopped all pretense and gone, what if these fucking characters from this movie franchise you watched were in a sitcom house and you were watching them start their day and flirt and then a zombie just gets them out of nowhere? Wouldn't that be funny?
It went on for so long. Like I scrubbed back the stream to make sure that I didn't dream that we did the opening sequence backwards and then forwards again thing. Because I started to believe, is this how this movie pretends the last movie didn't happen? They just don't even address it and we're starting a new continuity?
God, that would have been so much better, honestly.
That would be unbelievably sick.
Me and Noel were talking about, they skipped the part of a zombie movie that's the most obvious part of when the initial outbreak happens. They put that between movies, so we never got to see it.
Like, you don't... Also, it's like, it's about seeing it at a normal person eye level. You don't get that at any point in any of these films until that joke opening thing.
Yes.
That's it. That's the only time you get, this is a normal family in this situation dealing with the zombie outbreak. And it's the most like cranked to 11 version of that, as like screaming nonstop shaky cam trying to escape into the fucking attic, and then Michelle Rodriguez pulling up in a car who has been dead since the first film. I'm like, that's delightful. Of course you would have clones of Michelle Rodriguez, the most important final or Resident Evil film character. Because again, it's like we said all the way back then. Michelle Rodriguez has some of the most presence and star power in performance in that film, and then later, like very shortly after that, went on to The Fast and Furious. So it's just funny as hell that the film franchise looped back to go, no, yeah, we really fucked up there. We should get her back.
Hey, we should keep our actors who can act.
Yeah, that would really help after that last film. Holy Christ.
Okay, we need to go back for it. That scene where they lock themselves in the laundry room and she uses a broom to break through the ceiling to escape into the attic.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a thing normal people think of in that moment.
No.
That is something that someone who has gone around their house imagining what they would do if bad guys broke in well into their 30s comes up with.
Well, aggro, they're in the suburbs. Every single person in the suburbs has that kind of darkness within them. Every single person in the suburbs is constantly imagining the hordes coming and attacking their home. This movie is like everybody involved giving up and then looking at me like I should be happy for them instead of being mad at them.
I find this movie really frustrating from the angle of, like, you realized all of those characters and actors that you killed off were good, and you couldn't figure out a way to bring them back. So you did the most half-effort thing ever and just still got rid of them anyway. It's like you couldn't even think of anything to do with that black guy commander at all. You just were like, let's get the actor back.
Yeah,
He's cool.
I was shocked at how he died, because I'm like, surely they're just not going to unceremoniously okay. They did.
The funny thing is, we checked out the deleted scenes, and they actually have a cooler reveal for them being on their squad instead of it just being shot outside of that house. Like, yeah, it's
every deleted scene in this, just like that wouldn't make the movie good, but it would definitely make it better.
Yeah, it would make it better. And it's weird because the runtime on this is a pretty tight 95 minutes. I feel like it wouldn't have been harmed by extending it. Like, because the entire, like, if you added up every deleted scene, and some of it is just extensions of scenes, a lot of it is that, you would add maybe at most 5 minutes. At absolute most. And all of it is an upgrade.
Like, what did you do? Cut it for pacing? The fuck are we doing here?
Right?
Yeah, what are you talking about? Pacing. But yeah, they even have a scene they cut that talked about, that basically most of the Umbrella army is just clones.
Yeah, that's okay. The clone thing just ruins this whole stupid universe.
Like, it really does. It's absurdly stupid.
Are they developing the T-virus to sell as a weapon? They have perfected and scaled up mass-produced clone soldiers.
Right?
With imprintable memories. What the fuck are you doing with the T-virus?
Yeah, you could freaking run Attack of the Clones here. Like, it's, I think that's a bit more effective than, unleash a random virus.
Look. You all are falling for the scam. You think they actually are going to sell the T virus. That's bullshit. That's another.
Well, they can't now.
That's another veil of fog. The actual deal is that they make all their money doing consultation for various governments, basically doing Quora Christian baby posts of like, what if there was a zombie in Times Square? Wouldn't that be fucked up?
Just like they built the whole cityscapes to demo it for world leaders because they're assuming that the world leaders are stupid enough that they need to actually see the zombie outbreak happen in that city to understand its potential.
Perhaps the smartest part of this movie's writing.
Right? Like, I was like, I'm pretty sure we've confirmed various world leaders are this stupid. So,
Well, the thing that gets me is it's like, yeah, we sold it to everybody, but you didn't write, like, you're aware that you didn't write that these countries abusing your bioweapons is what caused the end of the world, right? It all somehow spawned from you doing that in Raccoon City.
yeah, no, it's so stupid. Like, this franchise is just absolutely moronic.
I'm not sure they said they actually did the sales. I think they just set this place up and then the apocalypse happened.
Right, exactly. That's what we're saying. Of like, oh yeah, this sort of thing would make more sense if an outbreak like that had happened from all different parts of the world. Instead, it's just somehow Raccoon City did this.
This is like fucking. This is what an AI would produce. That exact same. Oh, it's been too long. I forgot what I wrote before.
Yeah. No,
So now this is what the franchise is about.
I mean, this is, we just said, that the apocalypse happened. In the canon of this franchise, that has happened 1.5 to 3 times by now.
Right.
They're really not good at developing a world across more than one film.
It's weird that this base is still underwater after all of the lakes and rivers dried up.
Yeah. Yeah. Christ.
Yeah.
I was thinking in the middle of this, and like Bob, you just said there's a deleted scene where they talk about how all the Umbrella soldiers are those clones.
Mm-hmm.
The most fascinating thing in this movie was, I was thinking like, man, it's the apocalypse. Most humans are dead. The only functioning society left is the horrible, evil supercorp that caused the apocalypse. That's a fascinating position to be in as one of the last few humans alive. Whoops, I guess we're going to preclude even the possibility of asking such a nuanced question.
Yeah. Yeah. They are not smart. Can we talk about how there's like one actually good fight scene in this whole movie? And it's weird because it tricks you. They put it near the beginning. And it's just Alice fighting like 6 zombies with a chain ball.
The funniest part about that is like we're watching that scene, we're like, wow, this choreography is really good. That can't last, right? Then we watch the outtakes and it's like, no, she hit a dude in the face with the gun on accident. She hit herself in the face with the ball on accident. She's just constantly fucking up in all these ways that are like, I can't imagine a whole movie with this many takes and it going so poorly.
See, I couldn't even register that as cool because she's just killing zombies in a hallway.
Yeah, but there's a lot of choreography to it. Unlike
yes, there is, but it's like, oh wow, if only you had this happen during any of the parts where she's fighting something that isn't zombies.
Mm-hmm. I remember during it, I was thinking like, wow, okay, this is competent, but I'm still mad about 4. So if the rest of this movie is actually better, then I'll come back and like this later.
Fair.
It just gives up so pathetically in my sense. It's like, you need to go, Alice, we have to go through the 3 video game levels to escape the military base. Here's the 3D map of the video game levels. Uh-oh, we reused bosses from the last game. There's 2 of them now.
And they still don't make any fucking sense.
Why did you so was that one that like escaped in the previous movie? Or did you see him and go, oh, that dude's rad. We need to get some of him on here.
Those things might not even be from Umbrella. They might just show up.
Need to go read the log of what the character's backstory is in Resident Evil 5 to understand.
God, like Ada Wong shows up.
Yeah,
And
three cosplayers show up.
they do the choreography from 4. I'm like, okay, wait. How is this movie gonna? And then Timu Leon shows up, and I clapped.
And also Barry.
Yes.
Why
and
the
they
fuck
both
did
look
they
like-
bring in Barry?
Because he has put down the pencil and picked up the toy chest.
Yeah.
Both of them
Basically.
look like they're from an SNL sketch.
Yes.
They really do, yeah.
It's
Even
fucking
Ada
hilarious.
does. Like, even her dress just looks just cheap enough to be like SNL, right?
I love Barry for one reason. I'm sorry to this actor, but I can't look at him and see anything other than the Blob from X-Men Origins Wolverine. I saw Barry's face and I'm like, are you the guy who played the Blob? What the fuck? Then I look it up. Wesker played Rogue's boyfriend in the first movie. The first X-Men movie. And I'm like, what is with these two specific deep cuts? Which, you know, if you think about this movie and then also think about the X-Men films at the same time, it kind of makes sense. There's a little bit of shared energy there. I wanted to say in response to Chris's thing earlier, though, this movie is 100% faithful to the concept of video games, not to the source material, Resident Evil. It is a boss rush movie.
I don't even know if I'd say that. Because it's like the Hollywood idea of a video game.
I mean, they beat one level, they go into a loading tunnel, and they get to the next level, which has all of these struggles and objectives they have to do.
Like, it has this energy, like Paul W.S. Anderson is like, fuck you. You don't think this is enough like video games? Fuck you. Here it is. Here's what we fucking make. Look what we do. Go fuck yourself. Look, there's a boss fight. Does that make you clap, you fucking slop hogs?
I mean, they had that one city that really reminded Bob and myself of Pragmata. So very faithful to.
You mean Tokyo?
Yeah, it was a manufactured microcosm of a metropolitan area. It was very funny.
I don't know. Pragmata didn't have a GameStop in it.
Or Rockstar Energy. Konnichiwa, welcome to GameStop.
Was GameStop in both Tokyo and New York?
I can't remember if it was also in New York,
only
but it
remember
was
it
in
from
Tokyo,
Tokyo.
right? That was the funny part.
Mm-hmm.
Watashi Phil Spencer does.
They're taking out ad deals in their simulation built to show investors.
Wait, okay, now, you're okay. So you're trying to build it out in reality.
Yeah.
Okay, in the reality of the film.
I have to assume that they just went to Google Earth and picked out 4 square blocks of Tokyo and just recreated that exactly.
Bob, in your version of this, I'm just imagining Wesker's talking with potential investors because we really need to focus on this. I swear to God, we need to take a minute to actually acknowledge this film says Wesker is the head of Umbrella?
Yup.
Yeah.
Well, at this point, he kept killing all the people above him.
Like fucking the last two. This is like a knock-on effect of 2 films ago. A fucking scientist in Arizona or whatever's on a fucking voice call with Wesker and some guys in Japan. And because there's one scene and this movie's reality being crafted by a dying mind, he's now the head of Umbrella. Like that. Anyways, so Wesker, the head of Umbrella, is having talks with various government entities that could be investors and has to keep doing the shout out to Rockstar Energy while drinking from the can in front of them.
Yes. See, I like to imagine him he didn't mention yet, but he gave this display to China or whoever wanted to destroy Tokyo. And it, like outside, he sees the representative of the government going over to the vending machine and getting a rock star. And he's like, got him. Got him. Earned that money.
Crushed it. And then Wesker jumps up and he slaps the Believe banner he has over the entrance to fake Tokyo.
Okay. Now, see, that's how you get me on board with Ted Lasso is you just make him movie Wesker. You don't change any of it. Like, you barely change any of the events or dialogue. You just have movie Wesker in there being Ted Lasso doing the Wesker performance.
That would be amazing.
Movie Wesker is so amazing in this, especially at the end where he is...
Baby Wesker?
Yes, where he has never seen an adult man walk before.
Oh, I'm talking about, him and his ill-fitted, like, in the baby, looking like a baby in the Oval Office.
It's so good.
To which I'm like, what? It's been years, right? And this perimeter around the White House has held for years? Or did you choose this place to be the final stand of humanity because you wanted to, have Alice come into the Oval Office and see you?
Yep.
It's complicated.
I have never in my life seen a film so elevated by its last 30 seconds.
Yeah. That kind of is the only thing that's how amazing this goes into the worst one of them all.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
No.
Yeah, this is my first time rewatching this film since I saw the sixth one. And so I just started getting angry at various points because of my knowledge of the sixth film.
No.
I'm so sorry, aggro.
Yeah, I know. It's bad.
We're literally going from the peak to the valley of the franchise.
Yes.
What the fuck? We just did 4.
Oh, 6 makes 3 and 4 look like competently made movies.
It sure does.
God.
Wonder why we got through these so fast. It's a fucking mystery. Oh, man. I bought that 5 film collection on Blu-ray for dirt cheap. Then the 6th film comes out. And now I have to buy it individually for a price that's unacceptable.
Mm.
And on top of that, it is the worst film in this franchise.
Yeah, I guess we needed it on Blu-ray so we could see the deleted scenes. I'm sure they're going to be great.
I mean, I own it on Blu-ray. I own it on 4K Blu-ray.
Yeah.
The least worthy of all these films to be on that format. God, every time this movie cuts to footage from the 4th film, Afterlife, it is hilarious because that movie just looks like shit. In the entire franchise, that movie is the one that looks least like a real film you put budget into, and yet its budget is higher than most of them they made, and only slightly lower than this movie. It's just because they went to make a 3D film and fucked up in countless ways that it looks like absolute dog shit.
I've been trying to remember what happened to Jill in 2. Like, how did she exit that film that she showed back up in 4 with the spider?
I think that 2 is fine. Like, I could have sworn she was just on that strike team that was going to pick up Alice at the end, and then it's implied something happened between movies.
Okay, so there's nothing. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, she got lost in one of the shuffles where they just decided to do something else.
Right. I forgot they were like hanging out for almost a year after that. Because she wakes up at the end of this movie and they're like, "Oh, I'm glad to have you back." I'm like, neither of you were friends with the other. What the fuck? I saw that movie.
Right? Yeah, no, it has a weird misunderstanding where it feels like it can just pretend things that didn't happen did. It's like, it's been long enough. We can make it up now.
In other better works, they might have happened. So
yeah, like a lot of this gets to pretend stuff from the games happened. Like, oh yeah, there's some relationship between these characters, and it's like, you didn't put that in the game. You didn't put that in the movie. That was in the game a little bit.
Look, just have Leon say Las Plagas again. It'll be fine.
Well, he fights random Soviet,
movie zombies you would expect from an Of the Dead film.
Yeah,
Right.
like they're like more like from Evil Dead 3. Like they're that goofy. Like it makes no sense.
God, like when Michelle Rodriguez goes to inject herself with the parasite with a syringe, and the parasite is much, much bigger than the diameter of that syringe.
Yeah, that's
I
a
just kept
Resident Evil 5
imagining
thing.
like dead parasite goo going directly into her veins.
Look, they did that cool thing from the Matrix where you suck out the parasite thing, the bug, right? And they're like, well, I want to put it back in. So then they put it in a normal size syringe.
Yeah, it looked a little bit like the syringe they use in Actual 4.
Yeah, no, it is clearly based on that. Just, this fucking movie franchise towards this end of it and wanting to just go, we're taking this thing from the game. And it's like, you didn't develop that. That doesn't make any sense here. 2 of the big guy from 5. And I'm like, what? What?
Yeah, it's so weird too, because like Las Plagas doesn't even do what it did for Michelle Rodriguez. That would have made more sense if it was T-Virus.
Yes, it would have.
If they were gonna give up like this, they should have done it a couple movies ago. It's just annoying at this point. It's like, well, we just want to do cool shit. It's like, you had like 3 movies where there wasn't any of that. Now it just feels debased and pathetic. Especially knowing what the 6th movie is, seeing the ending of this one.
There should have been a line, and this would have calmed Bob down. This would have solved everything, okay? It should have been the T-Virus, okay?
Okay.
And there should have been a moment as they get out of the fucking submarine that crashes to interrupt them leaving the movie, because no, we're not doing that. We're having a really laughably shitty looking fight in the snow. They should have turned to Michelle Rodriguez and it's like, just like you, Alice, she too has bonded organically with the T-Virus. And then she injects herself. But here's why that would never happen. Paul W. Anderson would never write someone being as cool as his wife.
Paul W.S. Anderson would never be able to think. Like, how do you make a rival for a character? He can't conceive of that.
He's going through the motions. He understands that these pieces go here because he's seen other things. And so he puts them there, and then you get mad because he didn't build up to it.
He's sitting in the corner slamming 2 action figures together going, then make Las Plagas make her know Kung Fu, and then she'll do the Heartstopper punch.
Yeah,
Over
she'll
and
just
over.
have Mortal Kombat moves.
What kills me is, like, Resident Evil 1 was 10 years ago. I am willing to bet a lot of people who saw this movie did not see Resident Evil 1. So they probably had this experience of like, why are they acting like the chick from Avatar is important? Because they decided she needed to be important because she was in Avatar.
Who was in Avatar?
Michelle Rodriguez. She was like a fairly major character.
I have not seen that thing since theater. Are you serious?
She's like, she's like one of the pilots who's like on the Navi's side kind of and like talks to Jake Sully.
Jake Sully.
Huh.
And that was the same year as the most recent Fast and the Furious she had been in. So I assume that had more of a part considering that movie made $2 billion.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just like, oh, fuck, we had an actor who got really popular in this. Bring them back somehow and treat it like everyone should know.
See, this is really funny because my friend, Lady Zion, she's a huge Michelle Rodriguez fan. So she's just like, good, they recognize. Like, that's it. It's nothing to do with other recent events or anything. They just also really loved her in the first movie, which, she's... as Bob said, a person who can act in these films, my God, they're rare. But it didn't work out for them. This made much less money than the prior film. It made 20% less money. The budget was $5 million higher at $65 million. The box office was $60 million lower at $240 million. But it went up Rotten Tomatoes 7 points. For the full span of the series so far, let's run it down. We started at the first one with a Rotten Tomato score of 36. The second one, 18, the lowest so far. Extinction hit 24. Afterlife hit 21. And this is 28, the second highest so far.
That's still insanely low.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah, all of these are still in the your dad is whipping your ass territory.
You are getting expelled.
Like, you don't want to bring any of these grades home.
I feel like it needs to be directly said that because this movie is not pretending to be a movie like 4 was, I don't want you to walk away, if you haven't actually seen it, with the impression that any of the action scenes in this are any less incredibly fucking stupid. Every single one of them involves and usually ends with that's not how any of that fucking whatever.
Yeah.
God.
Like the two RE5 bosses each put an axe in a yellow taxi cab and then lift it up as the gasoline from the tanker truck splashes all over the street. It finally reaches their feet, and Alice and Ada Wong like do a cool pose and both shoot the gas tank of the taxi cab that they are standing 5 feet away from.
Yes!
Well, handle it. They parried
It blows up and just incinerates those two guys, and they're just fine.
Yeah.
So, well, another part of this movie that gets me is like, it's not like, why did they upgrade the zombies? In this simulation, they upgraded them with the Las Plagas. Why?
Because
that's just what the T-Virus does now. Like,
The mouth tentacles thing? I thought that was supposed to be...
No, they said that was T-Virus. That's why why Wesker did that in the last movie. The movie lore is really dumb.
Yep.
The only Las Plagas zombies in this are the Soviet dudes.
Yeah.
I hate this movie so much.
Yeah.
Except for the fight, except for where Alice is fighting Michelle Rodriguez with the ice hooks. That kind of made me laugh, because like, yeah, that is a seventh gen thing, huh? Doing the world's shittiest climbing hook combos.
God, yeah, they just roll out of her. She rips the parka off and she scrapes them out of the back of the parka, and then Jill pulls out the extendo staff, and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Jill, not
let's
Michelle
go.
Rodriguez. And the way she kills Michelle Rodriguez is so. First of all, good job bringing her back to immediately kill her.
Oh, we can make more.
Can the studio afford that?
Yeah, no, probably not.
We suddenly cannot make more.
It just felt so unceremonious.
Yeah.
No, it's really goofy and stupid.
Also, this is the Arctic, bro. The ice is thicker than that.
Yeah.
well, after the world, like,
Oh,
all
yeah.
the rivers dried and everything, it's kind of warm.
Jesus Christ. Like, the image itself of, like, all of the zombies under the Arctic ice, that's cool as shit. And they were acting like they had built up to it.
Yeah, they were. Why were they all like building a tower to reach that one place? That was weird. Like, you'd think that they'd be spread out all over the underwater, not just forming a cone to grab Michelle Rodriguez, who they knew would break down.
I don't know. All the zombies in this one act weird. Like when they go back into the suburbia. Can we talk about how weird it is that suburban America is one of and the biggest biome they've constructed? What the fuck,
weird.
Umbrella? Like, they go back into the house, and she goes into the little girl's bedroom, and there's just a zombie in the closet waiting to jump out at her.
Mm-hmm.
Why did the zombie wander into the closet and shut the door?
Don't know.
Wouldn't that be fucked up?
Yeah, right. Basically.
Fucking Barry. Jumping right over him being in this movie, making no sense, and just, hey, look, it's Barry. His final scene, where he just
That makes no sense.
he walks out into the open with smug confidence, gets gunned down immediately because, yeah, falls, like, throws his revolver up in the air, falls on his back, sits up, catches his revolver, and shoots one of the guys, and then gets gunned down again.
Yep.
The whole time looking like, yeah, this is really cool and I accomplished something.
Yep.
What was his plan?
Oh, he pulled off his plan. There's no mystery. For some
He is
reason,
bleeding, making him the victor.
for some reason, he thought that was a complete and total victory.
Yeah. I don't understand how they put Barry in the movie and had no mention of a sandwich at all. Like,
Nobody
what
played
was
that
the
game.
point?
That's 15 years ago at this point.
You made him look identical to Barry. Barry has nothing else going on.
You put Barry into Google and then take Barry.
It's wild. Oh yeah, and something we confirmed by watching the deleted scenes. Ada Wong's actress can speak fluent English. It just has a slight accent, so they dubbed her over entirely.
Yep. This movie has a real people were concerned, so we changed it energy to the whole production.
I figured she was just doing that voice. That woman, Bing Bing Lee, she's actually in. I spent half this movie staring at her face. I know your face. I know what you're from. I'm not gonna look it up. I finally broke down and looked it up. I don't know how well y'all remember Forbidden Kingdom, the Jackie Chan Jet Li movie.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she's the White Witch from that movie.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Amazing. Well, this forms an interesting parallel with the next film because we're talking about the weirdness between about Ada Wong here. The next film is let me rephrase that. When they crash this fucking series into the 6th movie, they decide to do a new fresh take, which is called Welcome to Raccoon City. And that budget for that movie's rock bottom, and it's a COVID film, which gives it a very interesting and different vibe. But the weird thing about it is the person who plays Ada Wong in that became Ada Wong in the games. She's just, they took her from the movie and went, we're scanning you and you're playing this person. It's so bizarre.
Wait, I don't think she's actually scanned in from. I think
Okay, so she's just doing the vocal performance?
She's just doing the vocal.
That's even weird.
Which is weirder.
Like having seen that movie, that's even weirder. Because
Yes,
there's
it
nothing
is.
about her performance in that movie that would inspire that decision. Jesus Christ. Okay, cool, great. I look forward to watching that movie again, having played Resident Evil 4 Remake and going, why though? Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Awesome.
Aggro's so optimistic. I'm so happy about the last movie now.
What? Well, you know, maybe Aggro has a reason to be optimistic. Maybe Chris and I are curmudgeons.
We must be insane because guess what? That movie has the highest Rotten Tomato score of any of them.
That's what I was going to say.
Whoa.
That's what I was building up to. It has 3 higher points than the first film. Somehow.
And that's the next one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That movie's 8 points higher than Welcome to Raccoon City.
That means Welcome to Raccoon City is exactly as good as Extinction, which is not true. But I don't know.
That is fascinating.
Yeah, I don't know what a normal human sees in the 6th film. Every person I've ever talked to about it fucking hates it. So the thought that it has a 39 on Rotten Tomato?
This is scary because, like, I also liked 2 more than anyone else here,
Right.
and I thought surely they must be lying about 4.
I feel like the cinematography of the final chapter like just makes it completely untenable as a movie.
Yep.
But they were the cinematographers of the last 2, so I don't know if they just got a head injury or something with this last movie.
I don't get it. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to discuss it once we watch it again.
Yeah.
Yes, and then it'll all make sense.
That definitely won't be soon.
No, don't be ridiculous. Why would we do that soon?
No, I'm thinking let's watch the fucking second Mortal Kombat film from the 90s.
Yeah.
Now's a great time.
We don't have to watch that.
Oh, was it not theatrically released?
I'm pretty sure that was a DVD movie. Maybe
No,
I'm wrong.
I absolutely. I went to
is-
see that
yeah.
in my. I'm pretty sure my dad was upset.
Understandable.
Okay, it actually went to theaters,
Yeah, I was
which is
gonna say.
embarrassing. It felt so. It feels
yeah.
so unbelievably cheap compared to the first one, even though I think it has a higher budget.
Which,
Yeah.
worth noting, 4% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Whoa!
It's
Yeah, it has a significantly larger budget. What the fuck? Why is that movie like that then?
Again, the only thing I look forward to in watching the fucking second Mortal Kombat Annihilation, for anyone who's curious, the only thing I'm looking forward to in watching that is seeing that actor from X-Files and other things that just kind of looks like Phil Spencer. I will not keep bringing up. I will keep bringing up until I'm dead the fact that this man just looks like Phil Spencer. He plays Shao Kahn, by the way.
Oh, great.
So please look forward to that. Anyway, any other comments before we get to our segment?
I think this is the most ridiculous outfit Alice has ever had, and I kind of like it for that.
Yeah, it's like the fucking compartment opens and like, here's your BDSM badass leather outfit, Alice. It's like, what the? How does she do all those fucking buckles?
Cologne Michelle Rodriguez shows up and buckles her up.
He didn't take all of her psychic powers away. God, the fact that Red Queen is now apparently just running Umbrella is the most. I don't think you guys watched the first movie part of this script.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to watch the next film. Anyways, let's get to our segments, our various vectors of grading these films and rating them. But before we do that, did you know you can support us in this endeavor over at patreon.com/GB podcast, where you can get early access to things such as, let me think about when this comes out, exclusive access to things such as certain Chugging Bleach related things. Chugging Bleach, our Bleach anime review podcast that was named that before somebody released a product called Sipping Bleach or whatever. Motherfuckers didn't even talk to us about it. And you can also watch Isolation 119, a movie made about a man going to Thailand to find out about the injuring of his brother, but really so that way you can get a tax break on going to Thailand. A movie that is better than most of the things in this Gamers Go to the Movie series. That's patreon.com/GB podcast. Gentlemen, thumbs up, thumbs down, or thumbs sideways? How do you rate Resident Evil Retribution? Bob.
This movie upsets me a lot, but it has enough goofy and wild swings for me to give it a some sideways. Like, it's not an entirely negative experience. It's just, it's too strange for that.
Dr. Aggro.
This is my most emphatic thumb sideways. This is not a good movie. This piece of shit is a good time.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Chris.
Thumbs down. I'm sorry. Like I've seen dumb fun movies. This feels like somebody drunk desperately trying to convince me it's one of those after producing 4 of the worst movies of all time. Like, I'm sorry, I ain't here for it, bro. I'm not interested in your fucking next drunken episode you keep bombing out of AA. Get lost.
This movie was a great reward for watching the 4 other films. Even still, I wouldn't say it's a good movie. It is bizarre and like, God, there's every one of these movies. Every one of them is just the most. So this was the first draft of the script from a person who's never screenwritten anything in their life. Good to know. I have extreme difficulty giving it a thumbs up because that implies that I think it's like a good film, and I really don't. I'm gonna give it a sideways. I had a good time, but oh my God. Shit like Barry and the way he goes out in moments like that are chalked all throughout the film where you go, any sane screenwriter director or anything else would have stopped this from happening, because this makes no sense from any human who's ever lived in reality perspective.
Yeah, it doesn't work as like some cool payoff for people who know the characters from the game. It doesn't work for someone acting in a logical way at all. It just doesn't work.
Which we didn't even talk about, like right before that moment, like a couple beats earlier. Barry gets like slashed across the face by a liquor and it's like, and it's like he's giving the death flags. And then an action sequence starts within 15 seconds. So now he's standing and sprinting at full speed and firing his gun. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
God, we didn't even talk about the liquor having laid eggs. That never comes up again.
Well, yeah, we really needed a way to rip off aliens.
Yeah, for some reason that was just aliens.
Or
This
the
is the
liquor
super
being
liquor.
the size of a tank?
Yeah, he's bigger and lays eggs. That's the T-virus.
Yeah, the subtitle said he was Uber liquor.
Yes, that's
Thank
true.
you.
He's called the Uber liquor. Something called me that in high school.
He only cocooned 2 people. That little girl he just grabbed and that one guy who had the grenades.
Yep. Again, this movie exists as far as Paul W.S. Anderson's incredibly limited imagination can go. That is the full breadth of its production. Gentlemen, is this worse than the Tekken movie? We'll start with Chris.
Can I abstain?
Can you abstain? we need to know what
Because-
movies are worse. Or go ahead, explain.
Because I'm not sure if I would say it's like, I want to say it's worse, but I'm not sure if I would say that if it wasn't coming off the previous 4 movies. So you know what? The context art exists and is always part of the discussion. Yes, it's worse.
Excellent response. Fantastic. Aggro.
Curiously, I'm going to say no for pretty much the same reasons. This movie completely eschewing the pretension that it is a film elevates it as an experience. It also has a better Nina Williams in it.
True.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, I'm also going to say it's not worse than the second movie. There's no way. Too many things happen. It's too funny. As a payoff to watching the 4 other films, this is like a reward for them. I feel it's better because of that, because it's so fucking absurd what it does with Michelle Rodriguez and Luther and all these other characters and the stupid fucking suburban life opening. It's so fucking stupid in so many ways that it's a delightful watch because of that. So I can't say it's worse than Tekken. Also, it's better produced than Tekken as a movie, but you know. Anyways, Bob, what do you think?
No, it's clearly not worse than Tekken, but this segment, every time we do it for these movies, I think about, now how do these movies compare to the Underworld franchise? That has to just win every time, right?
No. As someone who watched the first one, no, I think those are all probably worse. I think that on a curve, they are probably coming lower than every single one of these.
That sounds impossible.
The first one starts at 4.
Like, I was thinking of that exact same thing during this movie. And I'm like, I remember watching Underworld when I was, about the same age I watched Resident Evil 1 a bunch and thought it was cool. Oh, no.
Look, I never thought Resident Evil 1 was cool, and I thought Underworld 1 was cool. So I want to believe that was better, but...
I mean, Underworld 1 ends with a vampire werewolf fusion who's just blue.
Yes.
Yep.
And then I think that someone does an anime like sword slice through him or something.
No, he's the protagonist. He's the hero.
Okay, that happens to somebody else then.
You know, I didn't talk about the fact that the Red Queen is portrayed by one child actor and voiced by another. Where they're like, you got the perfect visuals, kid, but you just aren't British enough. You need to get a British sounding kid. Which is really funny because, man, they did effects to make it look like bad CGI, and it looks terrible.
Yup.
Man, this next category is always funny to do with the Resident Evil fucking movies. We're now ranking on a scale of 1 to 5 the star power of the Resident Evil Retribution cast. I'm gonna give it a 2 because there are 2 of them. Mila Jovovich and Michelle Rodriguez. They can work together to get a 2. They're both aspiring to the heights of when you watch a movie and it has a cast full of characters that are like, oh, I know that character from blank. I know that character actor from blank. Like Michelle Rodriguez and Mila Jovovich combined hit the level of, I recognize some of these guys from something.
Yeah, it's funny that since we're this far into this franchise, Mila Jovovich is more of a detractor than anything.
Agra, what do you think?
Yeah, Michelle Rodriguez is back at the ascendancy of her power, but that is balanced out by this being the 5th Resident Evil movie. So it's going back up to a 2.
Chris.
Yeah, they explicitly went and got her because she had been in a big movie. So yeah, that increases it by 1 up to 2.
It's so funny. It should be higher than that at all, like a 3 or something. But
no,
again, we're at the 5th one, right? And Mila Jovovich has had all of her power drained. Bob, what do you think?
Yeah, no, it's funny because this is the one that brings back all of the big stars. And it's like, you had one. It was only Michelle Rodriguez.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they had 1.
Little bit of a
She
problem.
wasn't even a big star when that movie happened.
No, I'm giving it a 2 because she brought it up to a little bit above what they had been forever now.
Oh, yeah.
Because as soon as, like after that first movie, it's been nothing but downhill.
Is it downhill if you've hit rock bottom and been flat for 4 movies?
Somehow. And it's not like we even got real actors to come in to play these cosplayers. They're just cosplayers.
It's true.
That's not true. That's the Blob. The Blob's playing Barry.
Okay.
Sure. That's a real actor that people know.
I watched X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Who's Leon?
I don't know. I'm literally looking it up because I'm like, are you even as famous as that guy? I'm gonna say no.
No, he's a former model. He was in Zoolander as a non-speaking role.
When your top billing is this movie and 5 episodes of Arrow, I don't think you get to qualify as star power in the least. Oh my god. Also, man, he's the funniest cosplayer because they have the Leon Kennedy wig. And then his face doesn't match it at all.
They couldn't even get him to shave. Like, what?
So many different layers of it just don't work right.
They're just calling forward to 9. It's a prescient casting.
You won't be laughing when he gets cast to be in the next Final Fantasy VII remake game. Because they got to get people from the CW.
That would be so funny.
He's the next new voice actor for Sephiroth.
Yes. Okay. Next category, faithfulness on a scale of 1 to 100. Reminder of the games. These games, not of games in general. Otherwise, I would be scoring it very high with its loading hallways and cutscenes and walk and talk between levels. Little bit of a Vanquish vibe. Anyways, let's get to it. Bob, what are you going to give it?
Oh my god. Again, this is basically zero to do with Resident Evil at this point, but we have things with Resident Evil names and cosplayers running around. So I think that gets it up to a 13.
Chris.
I have come to the decision that if a movie says, here's a cosplayer with that character's name, nothing else around them is even remotely correct, you don't get credit for that. That actually detracts from your score. So I'm giving this a 7.
I'm actually going the other way on this. It has characters cosplaying known Resident Evil characters. Umbrella is acting a little bit more like themselves than they have in recent movies. There are so many iconic video game characters here, and they are doing things vaguely sort of like what they did in the game. I'm going to give it a staggering 35.
Whoa. That might be the highest of any of these movies.
It actually might one moment. What did I give? Yeah, no, okay. And what about no, I gave the original 40. So technically that remains the highest score unless Aggro is going to come out here and say 50. Aggro, what do you think?
I have been conflicted about this since I watched this movie because, as described, Barry and Leon and Ada Wong show up, and then Ada Wong does the thing with Alice because Alice, like, you can't have Leon being cooler than Alice. That's not allowed.
That's not allowed.
You know what? Just because I got to see a Las Plagas parasite in the syringe, I'm going to give it a 20.
Would any of you, under any circumstances, say this is a suitable substitute for the game? We're going to start with Chris.
Yes, but only specifically Resident Evil 6.
It's true.
None of the
going
others.
to ask.
Only just specifically Resident Evil 6. And Operation Raccoon City, those also feel about equivalent.
So, here's what I love about this specific part of our show. Saying, is this a suitable substitute for a game, implies that the person you're speaking on the behalf of, making the decision for, has not engaged with the games. And so, they have also probably not engaged with the other movies. And also, it is worth noting, this movie implies it did, as a franchise, a number of things that seem like the games. They didn't actually do most of them at any point in the series, but they certainly hold themselves in a way. I'm going to say this is kind of a good substitute for the game. You can watch this and you kind of get the lowdown on all of Umbrella's shit. The problem here is that you might come out of this thinking Alice is cooler than Leon S. Kennedy when Alice ain't even fucking real.
So you'll know all about Umbrella. Apparently they make clone armies and
Yeah.
for some reason don't sell those.
No, they can't get them.
They must have sold something considering all these unironically $1 trillion establishments that they keep just having. How did you build something 3 times the size of a city with no roads?
Hey, at least this one is happening on a cheap real estate, unlike the fucking Tokyo headquarters.
Look, they secretly built that. They did not get any sort of like approval by any government agency to do that.
We have a whole discussion on that in the last film. Bob, what do you think? Is this a suitable substitute for the game?
Is always this movie. What game? What are you talking about? You sound crazy.
The game?
No.
The game. You know, Resident Evil game for TV.
There is no game even kind of like this ever made.
I really love in our thumbnail for the third one, Justice Zag just put, like, in the corner where the game is supposed to go, just put the fucking image again of Resident Evil 3 and some dots and 2 and a question mark. I don't know. So, Bob, is that a yes?
No.
Aggro, what do you think? Is this a suitable substitute for the games?
I was specifically going to ask if this is what 6 is like, because from what I have heard of Resident Evil 6, it's basically this. And the idea of having someone actually play through the first 5 games and then watch this movie and then move on is sending me. I'm going to say yes.
That would also like raise the average score of the Resident Evil games they have played by at least like a point.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're asking me, is this like Resident Evil 6? And yes, it too is brain damage in a can. Resident Evil 6 is like absolutely terrible to do to your brain. This is at least 1/7 or 1/8 the length. God, no, it's more than that because that game's enormous. Oh, God, Jesus. That game is so long. Yeah, anyways, do that. Watch this movie instead of playing Resident Evil 6. Should they have made a video game adaptation? I'm gonna just flat out say no. No, it kind of sickens me to think about it, to be perfectly honest. Bob, should they have made a video game adaptation of this?
I mean, we talked about several times in this how it basically is a bad 7th gen video game. So yes, they have to, unfortunately.
Chris.
No. Absolutely not.
Aggro?
100% yes. PS2 third-person shooter action game with an inexplicable lock-on system. Pour it into my veins.
This came out in 2012,
Right?
Should they make an FMV game out of this specifically, like using the footage from the movie to make a Sega CD style FMV game? Aggro.
No, I don't think you should. Like, you could. I think there's enough workable footage here to do that. But then someone plays it and imagines that there's just footage not in the game that connects all of those scenes in a cogent way, and that there's a story, and that's not fair to do to someone.
And then they have to go to the DVD menu, and then they have to go to deleted scenes. Bob?
Yes, but for the same reasons Aggro just gave, because we can't get away with it. They'll never know.
Huh. Chris, what do you think? FMV game?
Yes, I think that scene with the chain justifies it by itself.
You know what? You all sold me. I'm going with yes. I was really on the fence because, again, I think something about turning this back into a video game is going to cause the strain of virus that kills humanity. Like, there's just something we should avoid that at all costs. But it's true. This movie is comprised of very Sega CD FMV bash the button to win looking scenes. People lined up and shooting bullets at nothing. There's a lot of that in this movie. There's the chain fight. There's a cool moment where Alice walks into a room and there are a billion clones and she's got the baby girl with her and she stands there and she's got the grenades and she sets the grenades up to blow up, throwing it exactly where she knew the liquor that just entered the room multiple stories up was going to land when it jumps down. And she used a hook shot at the last second to hook shot away while it all exploded, everything in the facility.
Once again, firing that grappling hook, that hook-shaped object, an inch into concrete.
Yep. Yep. That's one of the many scenes that would exist in another movie in a context that made it good or sane, even pulled off and executed in the worst way possible. Anyways, yeah, no, it's got all the parts to make an FMV game. And the final question, is this movie normal person friendly? We go now to Chris.
It's a thing you can go see on Friday to ward off thinking about the inevitability of death. That seems to be the entire MO of this whole franchise. Like I said last time, I'm in the wrong here. They keep fucking going to see these. So sure.
Bob.
We were saying this is the first one that didn't do as well as the previous movie.
No, that's not true. Unless we're talking. Well, okay. One moment. I'm looking at the money. Because, yeah, I think the second one didn't do as well as the first. I'm going to have to make a whole fucking spreadsheet just for Resident Evil films.
This did marginally worse than the last one, yeah.
Yeah, monetarily. But I don't think it's the first to do that. Question mark?
I'm pretty sure. No, I think Extinction 3 made more than 2. They were on an upward swing, and just 4 made twice as much money as 3. So it's less that it went down and more 4 made it go way up.
Okay, so we didn't see an actual like massive downturn in how people went to see this.
No, not really.
It does feel like a movie that completely doesn't care about you as an audience. But I guess that works for these somehow. So yeah, it's normal person friendly somehow, even though it clearly is not.
Just to clear, I looked over real quick, and yeah, this is the first one that the money go down. And it did go down by 20%. It went down 60 million. It's now at 240. But anyway, I feel like this movie has just enough. I think it's actually more frustrating to watch this film and know what actually happened in the 4 other movies. And I think it being able to live in a vacuum bereft of that context makes it more normal person friendly. I think lying about what you did in the other ones makes this even more normal person friendly. When Barry and Leon show up, there's no thought that you should know them. they really reserve that for Michelle Rodriguez, which kind of works, and Jill that really doesn't. Anyway, Aggro, what do you think? Is this normal person friendly?
No, I took the opposite view of those characters where Ada and Leon show up and they keep talking about Las Plagas, and they're trying really hard to mention all of this Resident Evil stuff that you, the movie-going audience, have never seen or heard of before. Why is there a second thing that turns people into monsters? What the fuck are we doing here? No, that one was for the gamers.
For the gamers. Well, that's going to do it for the 5th Resident Evil film here. We're almost done with the Paul W.S. Anderson run. And thank God, because I can't have the 6th film hanging over me like a sword of Damocles. Please join us next time where we watch Mortal Kombat Annihilation. The executive producers for this month's GigaBoots videos are Spaceman Spiff, Red Blaze 27, Brendan O'Sullivan, Cooper Tank, BN12, and Rado. Thank you very much to our executive producers, and also these guys. If you want to become an executive producer or a normal patron, head on over to patreon.com/gigaboots today.